All green lights, everything's a go. Money on the table, count it real slow. Pull up that rosé, twist up that Cali Dro. When you hustle hard, no matter what is hitting for. Now go.
What it do, son doodles? It's your boy YfgmBlogTv coming straight out of Cincinnati, Ohio. Now I told you guys in my last video that I was going to do my top 10 Eagles players of the past decade. Now I try to make a good list as possible, so I'm missing some people, but you know, I feel like I may do a part 2 because I am missing some players that I felt like that was also great and contributed to this Eagles team over the past couple years. You know, but my number 10 Eagle of all time is, you got to go with the kicker, man. David Akers, man. This dude was a beast with kicking, man. He set a record for most points in a single decade and most consecutive postseason field goals of all time scoring leader with the Philadelphia Eagles, man. This man, he kicked many game-winning field goals. He was that great to the Eagles organization, man. I wish he was still with us, but he moved on to the 49ers. Big ups to him. Hope he does well. Now, if you guys don't know about him, then I don't know where the hell you guys been at. I think he got drafted with them in '98, if I'm not mistaken. He was with them in '98. Yeah, that's about it. That's about right. Now, my number 10. It's kind of hard to who I was gonna put at my number. I mean, my number 9. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna go with DeSean Jackson. DeSean Jackson is my number 9 all best Eagles of this decade. Flashy player, exciting. You know, his rookie year he had 62 receptions, 912 yards. He can return the ball. You know, he's a offensive threat. You know, he's an offensive threat. One of my favorite plays was in 2010 against the New York Giants. It was 31-31. I believe with like 12 seconds left. They was in the Meadowlands Stadium, and the kicker, kicked it off to him, DeSean Jackson. He dropped the ball, picked it up, ran it back, scored. I remember watching that. I was pumped. I was hyped. I called hella people that was Eagles fans of mine, friends of mine and stuff. And we was just getting celebrated. We was celebrating good. That actually led. It made that right there was the reason why the Eagles led the NFC that year. And the final score was 38-31. So DeSean Jackson, exciting, flashy, and he still got a lot of years left in him. Hopefully he can, you know, stay on the right pace and keep dominating. Now, my number 8. Now, I know y'all probably gonna be like, why is he the number 8? You know, why is he at the number 8 spot? Well, he contributed that season. For that season, he contributed very well. Helped lead this team to the Super Bowl. And the one and only Terrell Owens. I don't give a damn what you guys say. This guy's a hell of a player. He was a hell of a player for the Eagles that year. 77 receptions, 1,200 yards, 14 touchdowns. He helped lead the came back from a fucked up leg and played in the Super Bowl and did well in the Super Bowl. It was that fucking McNabb that wanted to get sick out of nowhere. Oh, I'm sick. I got to throw up. But anyway, man, Terrell Owens, man, even though he was just there, he was just with him for 1 year. He did a hell of a job that season. So that's my number 8 player. Now, I know y'all probably wonder like, why? But hey, it is what it is. Now, number 7, Trey Thomas. Trey Thomas, the offensive lineman for the Philadelphia Eagles. He protected McNabb as heavy. He did a great job at doing that, protecting Donovan McNabb. He went to 3 Pro Bowls. He did a great job with the Eagles. I wish he was still playing with us, but hey, it is what it is because he protected the shit out of Donovan McNabb. Now, moving on. My number 6, I had a tough one with this one, but I believe I'm going to go with Okay, my number 6, I'm going to go with... hold on, people. I'm going to go with Duce Staley. Duce Staley is my number 6 player that was also a great at with the Philadelphia Eagles, even though he played with, I believe, 5 years? Yeah, he was there from 97 to 2003. He was 4th in rushing in the Eagles' history. He had power. He had speed. He had 4,807 yards, 22 touchdowns. He was a he helped the Eagles out a lot. I remember watching him a lot. I loved him, man. He was a great player there. Now, moving on. Number 5. Now, my number 5 player, that will be Trent Cole. Yes, Trent Cole. Got here in 2005 from Cincinnati, my hometown. Woo, he played for the Cincinnati Bearcats. Was a beast in the Cincinnati Bearcats, and he's been beasting since he got with the Philadelphia Eagles. This man is fourth on the Eagles all-time sack list. One of the best pass rushers in this game today, and he's only 28 years old, so he has a lot of progress to do in his career. So he's not even done yet. It's like he's just getting started. Now, moving on. My number 4 player. That will be the one and only Mr. Brian Westbrook. I love Brian Westbrook when he played with the Eagles, man. He came in 2002 and ended his career in 2009 with the Eagles. He was a hell of a running back, hell of a receiving back. He reminded me of a Marshall Faulk because they had that speed, agility. They can catch the ball in the backfield and break away for big yards. And that's exactly how Brian Westbrook was. He was very, very, in my eyes, he was always an underrated running back in the NFL, He was the all-time leader in yards from scrimmage. And this dude, like I said, he was a threat, man. He speed, he can catch the ball, break off for big plays, do it all, man. So big ups to Brian Westbrook, man. I wish he still played with us, but you don't. Now, number 3, like I said, I'm missing some people, but it is what it is. This is my list. Number 3, gotta go with Hugh Douglas, man. I love watching Hugh Douglas play when I was watching him. He was their defensive end from 98 to 2002. He third on the Eagles all-time sack list. He made the Pro Bowl 3 straight years with the first stint of being with the Eagles. Yes, people, he was there, left, came back with the Eagles, and he was always a great player. I think over his career he had like 80 sacks, if I'm not mistaken, over his career. Hugh Douglas, man, he was a beast, bro. That's see around that time and stuff like that. That's when the Eagles defense was great and dominant. Hugh Douglas, Jeremiah Trotter, Brian Dawkins. It was beasting. Speaking of Jeremiah Trotter, now actually, this was tough for me. So actually, I got 2 people for the number 2 spot, and I'm gonna just tell you why. Because like I said, Jeremiah Trotter was there in 98 to 2001, 2004, then 2006 to 2009. He was there from 06 to 2009. He was one of the best linebackers the Eagles ever had. I always loved Jeremiah Trotter. He was in 04. He morphed that damn defense into one of the best run stopping defenses ever. They was a force to be reckoned with. He was one of the best run stoppers of the decade for the Eagles, man. He was just a beast. And then also, I'm going to go with my guy, one of my favorite defensive players of all time, period, and that is Mr. Brian Dawkins. From 96 to 08, he was the heart and soul of this damn Eagles defense. He played for them for 13 years. He forced an Eagle record of 32 forced fumbles. And this dude hit hard, man. I love Brian Dawkins, man. He was always my favorite player. Him and Ray Lewis are my 2 favorite players ever, including Ed Reed, because these 2 guys, Ray Lewis and Brian Dawkins, they was motivational. They was good at getting you ready for the game, and that's why I love this dude. Now, number 1, you guys probably already know who the number 1 player is. I mean, hey, you gotta roll with Donovan McNabb. You gotta go with McNabb, man. 98, he was there from 1999 to 2009. He was the face of the Eagles for 11 years. He put the franchise on his back. Even with all the bullshit when he used to get booed, he still was that dude. I don't care what nobody say, man. He set franchise records, all-time leading passer, 4 straight NFC championship games, led him to the Super Bowl, even though they lost to the punk-ass New England Patriots. What is it? The least interception quarterback per pass attempts in NFL history. Donovan McNabb was a beast, man. Shout out to Donovan McNabb, man. It was messed up how they did you, but it is what it is, man. But yeah, that's my list, man. And a couple other players, just 2, players that I could have put on my list. I'm going to go with he was also a running back, Terrell Buckhalter. He was a pretty good running back, even though injuries messed him up. But when he was playing good, he can always break off for a big play, man. He had the determination part of him, man, even through all the injuries to his knee that kept him from being that star running back. And then also, like I said, John Runyon from 2000 to 2008, 190 straight regular season games, 330 pounds, led the way for Duce, Staley, and Brian Westbrook. Him and John Ritchie, good tandem. And also Troy Vincent, man, cornerback from 96 to 2003. He was one of the best cornerbacks in the game. And y'all can go with Asante Samuel. It's so many players that I can mention, y'all. But y'all know what to do, man. Check out my previous videos. Hit me up on Facebook, Twitter, all that good stuff, man. Peace. Shout outs to everybody. Much love, respect.